Hi Aquarius, this is your horoscope for September 2017. Thanks for joining me. It's really nice to be with you. It's Mercury retrograde, so I'm changing the format of all my videos. Let me know what you think. Give me some feedback. I make these videos so that you enjoy them, and I try and make them as accessible as possible. So if you think that adding a chart there would be a good idea, or if you want them longer, or if you want them shorter, or if you have any other insights for me, I'd love to hear it. I want to make these videos as fun for you as possible so you can get the most out of them. So in September, Uranus trines Mars until the 11th, and Uranus sits in your 3rd house and Mars sits in your 7th house. So what that means is Uranus is the planet of rebellion and eccentricity and doing things in your own unique way. And that in your 3rd house will mean that you want to communicate and say whatever is on your mind. Mars is the male principle, it's desire, it's what I want, and that's in your 7th house of relationships. So Mars is going to say, again, I want to have relationships, but only on my terms and if I get to say what I want. So you're very sure of yourself, you're very certain of yourself. Remember that Mercury is in retrograde and there is room for error, even for Aquarians. You guys are, the intellects and the humanitarians and the teachers, and even you can be affected by Mercury retrograde, even though it's not your ruler. But if there is utter confidence and you never ever question yourself, start questioning yourself during this Mercury retrograde, because you could get it wrong and you could say something that offends someone. Mercury moves into Leo from Virgo on the 1st of September, and it moves back into your 7th house. Mercury is retrograding, so it appears to be going backwards, and it's going back into the sign it was in before, Leo. And in your 7th house, that gives you a huge amount of passion and desire when it comes to other people and just communicating with other people. So you want to connect. You don't have to connect romantically, sexually. You can connect by communicating. Any intimacy can be, that's what I'm talking about, that you long for intimacy. And intimacy can be having lunch with someone or talking to someone or sleeping with someone. It's different for everyone, but that's what you long for. Remember as well, Mercury is in retrograde, so there's room for error. So the intimacy that seems so wonderful now may seem very different on the 5th. So when Mercury goes direct. So don't make any big decisions in the first 5 days of September, please. Lifelong decisions, unless you absolutely have to. If you have a choice, especially about relationships or what you're communicating, then wait until Mercury goes direct. Venus is in Leo until the 20th in your 7th house. So you've got Mars, the archetypal male, and Venus, the archetypal female, in your 7th house. When men and women get together and they're heterosexual, they usually end up having sex. And that sometimes creates new life and new beginnings. And that happens in your 7th house of relationships. So you got sex on the mind, you've got other people on the brain, and you have intimacy and connection with others as something that you really want to do, all the way up until the 20th. Venus then goes into Virgo in your 8th, and the focus shifts completely. What you'll become interested in from the 20th of September onwards is sorting out your taxes, getting all your forms filled in, all of your bills sorted, all of your books and your balances, and to get all of that in order. So it's like night and day for you, Aquarius. The first 20 days here is love and passion and intimacy, and then it's paperwork and really just putting on your administrator hat and going into admin mode from the 20th onwards. On the 5th of September, Mercury goes direct, and it's in Leo in your 7th house. So the communication planet, Mercury, Leo, is very passionate, very fiery. It can be blunt. Leos can often say what they think, and they can often inspire people and motivate people. I always think of Mercury in Leo as Tim Robbins. But it can also be too much. It can be insulting, it can be aggressive, it can be destructive. You can use this either way. Okay, if you're in a relationship that's stagnant and you're not unhappy in and you haven't been able to leave, you can use this Mercury and Leo energy to say, I'm no longer in love with you and I need to leave this. I'm no longer going to live with you and I'm going to move out. Just saying that, awful. I'm an idealist, so for me to end relationships is really hard. But Mercury in Leo would help you do that. On the plus side, if you're someone who's shy and doesn't really like the spotlight or attention very much, Mercury in Leo loves that. So if you're working in a situation, or you've written a book and you want to market it or promote it, or you want to give a speech or a presentation, Mercury in Leo will help you with that. On the 6th of September, the full moon occurs in Pisces, and that happens in your second house. I'm going to make separate videos on the full moon and new moon because they can be quite complicated and I like to go into more depth. But as far as you're concerned, Aquarius, you need to know that it's happening in your second house of money and belongings. So the full moon showers you with Piscean energy, which is very much about being self-sacrificing and taking care of other people's needs. So during this time, if someone asks you for money, you're going to be very likely to give it to them. Not just lend it to them, but to give it to them. So be aware of that. A general room, you haven't asked me for advice, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. I hate unsolicited advice when people give it to me. Should I? Shouldn't I? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to give you this. In my opinion, if people need money and you want to give them the money, in my experience, it's better to just give it than to lend it. Because if you lend it, you're sitting there waiting for it to be paid back, one. And even if they do pay you back, you're waiting, and that's annoying. I find that annoying. Sometimes you have to chase them for the money. If they don't pay you, sometimes they don't pay you back at all, and then a friendship can be ruined. So if you don't want to wait around and have this on your mind, and you have the money, and you don't really care, and you want to help someone during this full moon, and someone actually asks you, then my advice, and if it doesn't work for you, then don't take my advice because you didn't ask for it. It was unsolicited advice. Take it or leave it. But if you do have that situation come up during the full moon, then I'd suggest just give them the money rather than lend it to them. Also on the 6th of September, we've got Mars moving into Virgo, and that's in your 8th house as well. So Mars, the male principle in Virgo in the 8th, will really enjoy or will want to get everything organized. The 8th house is bureaucracy, and it's other people and institutions, and it's even the other side, and it's just you versus the world. Not versus the world, but you in contact with the outside world. And the fact that Mercury is in Virgo in that 8th house means that you completely understand what's going on. Yeah, so Mars, I think I said that wrong. Mars moves into Virgo and into your 8th house. So Mars in Virgo in your 8th house will give you a desire to get things organized. And then this is where I think I skipped ahead. On the 11th of September, Mercury goes into Virgo, and it also goes into your 8th. Mercury is the communication planet. It rules Virgo, so you're going to understand absolutely everything, and you're going to be able to make sense of all of these things that you need to have organized or want to have organized. So for you Aquarians who want to get your paperwork and everything sorted, this is your time to do it. On the 20th of September, the new moon occurs also in Virgo in your 8th house. A new moon is always a time when the moon pulls energy in. So you're going to feel even more Virgo energy. And Virgo isn't just about being OCD and, you know, freaking out if you lose a pen. Virgo is very good at dealing with lots of information, breaking it down, making sense of it, and coming up with meaning. So you could come up with meaning in terms of, what is my role in this situation, in this institution? Am I valued? Am I not valued? What is my role in life? What is your role in life? Are you here to heal? Are you here to make money? Are you here to be famous? Are you here to just drink until you get to check out? What's the answer? It's a question that a lot of people don't like asking. But I think you like asking it, and you certainly know, and you will make a lot of progress with this new moon in Virgo in your 8th house on the 20th, because Virgo gives you additional skills to understand and to make sense of things. So if you have questions on your mind, ask them around the 20th, you will get the answers. On the 30th, Mercury, the communication planet, moves into Libra, and it goes into your 9th house. So moving on into October, you're now much more focused on expanding and teaching and learning and connecting with other people, maybe even traveling. educating yourself more and becoming bigger. So September is about analysis and getting everything sorted out. Reading between the lines, it sounds to me like you get that done. And because you get everything sorted, then you're free to enjoy yourself here in October and to have fun and to let loose. So that's what I get for you for September. If you would like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And in my readings, I use astrology, tarot, and numerology. I draw up your birth chart by using your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. And that's a blueprint of your soul. If you'd like me to do that, then I can look at what your vocational aptitudes are, what your soul mission is, what your strengths and weaknesses are. By using the predictive astrology and astrocartography, I can see where the best locations for you are, what's coming up for you in your love life, in your career, in your family life, health, spirituality, anything at all. So if you are interested in a reading with me, get yourself to the website. It's gregoryscott.com. Just click on the readings tab and order the reading. I'll be in touch with the schedule. Please subscribe to this channel, and I'll speak to you in October.